guys, Matt here. Today I am here very excited to make an announcement that in 2023 I'll be sponsored by Reptilian Disc Golf. And if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that I'm a big fan of the Stego and several of their other discs, and I'm trying to figure out how to work more of their stuff into my bag. So to that end, I went out to Deerfield and took an in-depth look at their mid-range, the Gila. The mid-range has been, this particular mid-range has been out with them for several years. I think it was introduced in 2018, and its numbers are 5403, and it was designed to be like a really consistent, overstable mid-range. It'll penetrate straight with like a big hooking, biting fade. You can tell it's not the deepest disc, especially in the fossil plastic. It molds up fairly shallow and very flat. In the premium plastics, you get just a little tiny bit of dome. It's got a scooped out underside and a fairly big but not huge bead. And I'm hoping that this can be my main straight to fade backhand disc, and potentially one that I could throw on like late turnover forehand lines. Kind of a bridge between whatever my straight mid-range ends up being and the justice that I'm going to use for really hard fading shots or forehand flexes. So I've got this one, the dyed armor plastic one, really cool. Shout out to my buddy Jonathan and his fiance that did this one for me, with the pink and purple there. And then I've got this really beat up fossil one that I've actually had for a couple years and have used on and off, but trying to fit it into the bag on a more permanent basis. So let's take a look. At Deerfield Park today, trying this one out on hole 3, flexing it through that line there, and it holds inside the circle, but doesn't fade quite as much as I thought it would. Over to hole 5, piping it through the center line on a forehand flex, and it slides up there just inside the circle left side. Trying a similar line with the fossil one, it actually lands on top of the other one. They were less than a foot apart after settling. Over on 9, doing a very similar line, and this one doesn't come back quite as much. It ends up just outside circle 2. Trying the big backhand on 10 here. It's about 300 feet. It ends up about 15 feet from the pin. Good shot there. Doing this really tight S-curve forehand here. It ends up left side of the circle. Not quite as much fade as I thought, but good shot. Doing this wide Mickey Mouse line here. You can see it come back into frame right there and bounce up into the circle. Over on hole 13, doing a wide hyzer, a little wider than I meant to, but it skipped up where I could make a putt. Now down to hole 20 here, finishing up. Nice little low skip shot. Just about got that skip ace there. So I found it really interesting that the armor one seems to have a little bit more glide than even the beat-in fossil. I don't know if that's because this is really like stiff, hard plastic, or the fact that it's a little flatter top. It does have more turn at speed than this one does, but not quite the same glide. So that was kind of fun to see the different flights. Really enjoyed throwing it forehand and backhand. Some of those forehand lines, I've never really thrown them on the course like that before. Like a number 5, that one up the gut with the late turn. That was at circle's edge, and I really usually throw the really wide forehand hyzer line there. So that was fun to see. Overall, really enjoyed throwing them and had some pretty good results. So I'm going to keep working them. I think these guys might be the perfect fit for that slot that I was using the MIDI for last year, where you throw it as hard as you can and it's going to hook up late and sharp. So thank you to the guys at RDG. Looking forward to throwing these this year, and you guys have a great day.